Can somebody explain to me when we crossed into an alternate timeline? No, seriously, I think we've crossed into an alternate dimension. Digimon games are now doing better than Pokemon games. Little Nightmares is no longer the best series to theorize over. And the best RPG by far this year was made by the French. The goddamn French! The French are now making better RPGs than the Japanese. What is going on? Now, I could turn this video into a whole rant, a whole story about how the games industry is in a weird spot. Games that have historically been amazing are now not doing so great. Games that you wouldn't expect to be great are doing really, really well. And a lot of this just boils down to one basic concept, and that is a lot of studios don't understand that all you got to do to make gamers happy is provide them an experience that they want. And in a lot of ways, studios don't know how to, or they refuse to give the experience to people that they expect. Look at Final Fantasy. Final Fantasy, for some reason, is so averse to turn-based combat, yet all of the best RPGs that people are loving are turn-based combat. It's not rocket science. But I realized that I haven't actually given REANIMAL its own video yet. I've talked a little bit about it in my previous Little Nightmares video, but I haven't actually given REANIMAL its own video, and I want to give it a video because I've played the demo twice now, and after playing the demo twice, I love it. I think the demo was fantastic, and the demo did what a demo should do, and that is, you know, make me more excited to play the game. And I was already excited to play the game because the trailers just look sick, but I'm now way more excited to play the game. I'm super excited for the full release, and I think that REANIMAL deserves to be talked about. I think we should highlight when games do things really well. And yes, okay, there's going to be a little bit of comparison here between Little Nightmares 3 and REANIMAL, and mainly that's because a lot of the criticisms I had of Little Nightmares 3, a lot of the things that were really missing from Little Nightmares 3 are here in the demo. The REANIMAL demo gave me a lot more of what I was looking for than Little Nightmares 3 did. So unfortunately, these games are going to be, I am going to compare them together a little bit, but I'm going to do my best to let REANIMAL stand on its own 2 feet because, well, let's be honest, at this point, I just think Tarsier are the kings of this genre and queens, kings and queens of this genre. And I think that we should celebrate when games do well, just as though we should say when we think games don't do well. I think it's just as important to say when games do well for 2 reasons. 1, I think good things should be celebrated. And 2, I think that the games that maybe aren't doing so well can perhaps look at the games that we like and we love and maybe see where they're falling a little bit short. And maybe if we ever do get a Little Nightmares 4, maybe Supermassive can look at what they did and what they didn't do, and maybe they can shift focus a little bit and go, okay, maybe we should focus a little bit more on those things that people clearly love. Maybe, and maybe if they do, maybe the next Little Nightmares 4, will be another overwhelmingly positive rather than a mixed on Steam. That's my hope. Anyway, REANIMAL. Now, if you thought this was going to be just a video where I glaze the REANIMAL demo, you'd be right. It is. I am going to glaze the REANIMAL demo. But that's because it's great, and I don't really have much negative to say about it. Now, I've got a couple of things, of course. I can always nitpick any game, but there isn't anything here that is particularly bad. There's nothing here that is enough to make me go, oh, I'm worried about REANIMAL. And I think if you want my like review or whatever of the demo, I think my one not even a concern. The one negative thing I could say is that I just hope the rest of the game is of the same quality. I hope that they didn't, you know, cherry pick this one area or overdevelop this one area so that it looks really, really, really good and then the rest of the game isn't. But if I'm being honest, from what I've seen of the trailers, I'm not concerned about that at all. I don't think that's the case. But let's jump in to my opinions on the REANIMAL demo. Why do I think this demo is so great? Let's talk about the gameplay for a start, because as I've said, Little Nightmares, the gameplay has always been, you know, whatever. It's not the best gameplay ever. These games aren't exactly breaking the wheel in terms of gameplay, but what they are always, well, Little Nightmares 1 and 2 were, what they always are solid. They are solid experiences, and that's all we need. That's all we need when it comes to gameplay. It only has to be solid. Now, there are some games that go above and beyond with gameplay, games like Balatro, for an example, their gameplay is their key focus, and so their gameplay is amazing, but those games don't have really any story or anything like that. But the thing that people want, in my opinion, what people want from this genre is the narrative, and we'll come on to the narrative in a bit because this demo just chef's kiss. But the gameplay only has to be solid, and as I said, I'm going to try not to compare too much, but the Little Nightmares 3 gameplay in some aspects wasn't as solid. Now, this gameplay was solid. The chases that we have in this game, there was only really 2, I think, in this demo, but the chases that we have felt a lot tighter than they did in Little Nightmares 3. They were just like Little Nightmares 1 and 2, where the enemy was always right on your heels, and there are moments where if you dither for 1 second, or if you mess up one tiny bit, that monster's gonna get you, because they are right on your heels. And once again, we only really have one major enemy in the demo. We've got the Sniffer. I'm pretty sure this guy's called the Sniffer. I think he's an ice cream man. Like, genuinely, I'm pretty sure he drives an ice cream truck, or an ice cream van, as we call it in the UK. But when he chases you, he feels a lot like the enemies in Little Nightmares 1 and 2, where he's like possessed. He's crazy now. He's got to get you. And I think he wants to eat you again. So you could be like, oh, they're doing the same things that they've done. But let's be fair. Any horror game is going to have something that wants to eat you, right? Like, this is just core horror game mechanics. But he is always right on you when he's chasing you. And not only is he always right on you when he's chasing you, he chases you in the most bizarre and weird way. Like, we see him, he walks around on 2 legs, even though one of his feet are broken. But he walks around on 2 legs until he spots you, in which case he goes down on all 4s and chases you like a goddamn rabid dog. Yeah, that is scary. Now again, these games are not the scariest games ever. If you compare this game to something like Alien Isolation, I think Alien Isolation is much scarier than Little Nightmares. But it's scary enough. It's creepy and it's weird. It's a different type of horror. It's horror that is more existential than threatening. Although I say that, but then the chase scenes are super threatening too. Like, he is going to kill you just like the Xenomorph would. But it's more of a, you know, this world is weird and it doesn't make sense. And why am I here? And why is he look like a human, but he's twisted and misshapen and broken? And why is he eating children? All of these questions probably never get an answer to, but this is a different kind of horror, and this demo does it super well. If you look at the skin snake people, I think they're like shed skin like a snake. I don't know. I could be wrong. In some places they look like laundry. In other places they look like snake skin. I'm not really sure what is going on with these people, but again, weird. When they start chasing you, I'm like, I don't want you anywhere near me. And then when they actually catch you, once again, they swallow you whole just like a snake. So, not the scariest thing I've ever seen in my life. Not, far from it. But they're interesting and unique and weird. So, the gameplay, super solid. The horror is, like I say, not the scariest thing ever, but it's creepy and weird, and I love that. But another thing that the gameplay does really, really well that Little Nightmares 3 didn't is it rewards your exploration. Now, these games, one of the strongest aspects of them, for me personally, and I think many others, is that they are these worlds that you can go and explore, you can go and find things, and then you can make theories either in your head or on video like I do. And this is one of the greatest strengths of this genre. Now, one thing that was really nice to see is that Tarsier describes this game on their official website as an interpretive narrative. And that is a much more eloquent way of saying what I said in my previous couple of videos, which is that Tarsier are the kings and queens of show, don't tell. They show you an experience, they show you a story, and they let you come to your own interpretation of that story. They don't tell you what's going on, they show you, and they let you do it yourself. And yes, obviously, that's great for people like me who like to do theories because it lets us theorize more. We can make more content. I know that. But even before I was making content on this channel, I was still playing games like Little Nightmares and loving them and watching theory videos myself and, coming up my own headcanon. I was doing all of that before I started doing this on YouTube. So that is one of the greatest strengths of the genre. And that was what was missing from Little Nightmares 3 for me. But this demo absolutely nails it. Now, there are so many little hidden things in this demo. I've already shown them off in my last video. so many little hidden things you can go and find. But the one thing that this game does really well is it passes the rat on a stick test. Yes, I made this just for you. You're welcome. But I talked about in my previous video, I talked about how in a room in Little Nightmares 3 that had nothing in it aside from a collectible, if they'd have just put something like a rat on a stick, because it was a candy factory, and this would have been like, oh, is it candy? It doesn't look like candy, it's a rat. It would have been a cool little detail that they could have put something like that in the room, and it would have made it a million times more interesting. And unfortunately, Little Nightmares 3 fails the rat on a stick test because it doesn't ever really do that. All of the extra rooms you can find, many of which are like secret hidden rooms you got to go and find, they have nothing interesting in them. It's just a collectible. Who gives a shit? However, in the REANIMAL demo, every single room, hidden room, most of the rooms that are not hidden, almost every single room in the game has something. Now again, they don't always, there are some really creepy stuff in this game to find, and I'll talk about that in a minute, but not everything has to be this amazingly, you know, convoluted or secret thing. Some of the rooms just have simple things in, but simple things that add to the environmental storytelling. Let me give you an example. In one of the rooms, and this is a room that I actually missed on my first playthrough, but in one of the rooms, you can find a bunch of shells and ammunition and a bomb. Now, by itself, it's nothing special. We know that this game has a heavy war theme to it. It's nothing special. But when you first arrive at this place, you have no idea what this building is. And I believe that this building is called the mill. There is a mill in the game, so I'm assuming that this is the mill. But you don't actually know what this building is for. And when you explore it, you see all these things, you see all these dead bodies and things like that, but you still don't really know what this place was for, because, you know, I don't think it's for anything anymore. But this room having all of these shells and ammunition and the bomb, it tells you something, or it shows you something. It shows you, look, hey, look, were there military here at one point? Probably. Like, I doubt civilians were hiding shells, and so you can also see military helmets. So it suggests that the military were here at one point. Now, were they just using this as a temporary base? Was this always a secret military base? You know, did they just pass through here one time and they left these here? Are these soldiers still alive? You know, will they come back one day? All of these questions that you can now ask because simply this room showed you something. It showed you a rat on a stick. Now, again, to be fair, I would have liked something creepy, and one of the other hidden rooms in this game does have something creepy. It has a guy with his guts spilling out as he's crawling through a pipe. Like, did someone stuff him in there, or did he crawl through? I don't know. Honestly, who knows? So some of the rooms do have creepy things, but it doesn't always have to be that. But the point of a rat on a stick test is there something in this room that is unique or interesting for no other reason of being unique and interesting, of adding to the world? And so many rooms in Little Nightmares 3 failed the rat on a stick test, and almost every single room in REANIMAL passed it. Almost every single one. Yeah, sure, there were a few rooms here or there that, you know, don't really have anything interesting, and most of them it's because an enemy's passing through it or something like that. But most of the rooms do. There are so many rooms that have something to find that is either weird, unexplainable, or, like I say, just unique and interesting. In terms of gameplay, I loved this demo. I thought it was absolutely, again, solid gameplay, nothing special, but it was solid, and my exploration was rewarded. Almost every time I went off the beaten path, I was rewarded by being shown something. And one of the most interesting parts of this demo by far is something that you could easily miss. Now, if you go over to this place, if you have to actually stop the minecart to find this place, but you stop the minecart, you go over here and you find this box, and the box is moving. Now, immediately I was like, well, there's something in there, right? Like, what is it? And we go over and we open this box, and out comes the shadow of the child that we are chasing. This is one of our friends, but it's a shadow of him, and if you pay attention, you can see that he gets shot. Now, first of all, one of my big criticisms about Little Nightmares 3, and I've had people in the comments joke about this because it sounds so silly to say it out loud, but one of the big criticisms I had of Little Nightmares 3 was that there didn't seem to be half as much danger as there usually is in this world. The Little Nightmares world has all of these children in it that always end up dead or captured, eaten, turned into a gnome. Bad shit happens to the children in this world. It's like this world doesn't want you here. And I talked about that, how in Little Nightmares 3, the only one time we get anything close to this is when a gnome gets killed by the kin. Now, yes, that moment was cool, but it was a gnome, and we know that the gnome are children, but this game doesn't really reinforce that, and it doesn't really use the gnomes. Like in Little Nightmares 1, when the gnome died, it was a big deal because we'd been making friends with those gnomes all throughout the game. Those gnomes had been helping us, and the gnome was trying to help Six. It was offering Six the sausage. It was being friendly, and Six killed it. That moment was such an emotional moment because nobody wanted that gnome to die. That gnome was just trying to help, and Six killed it. You compare that to this moment where it's just a random gnome and the kin kills it, it doesn't have the emotional weight. So even the thing that Little Nightmares 3 did do, it didn't do as well as Little Nightmares 1. And then even the DLC for Little Nightmares 1 made that specific moment 100 times more impactful because it turns out that in that moment, Six was actually killing the runaway kid. So it was even more of a huge moment in the story and in the lore. And this was just a gnome being killed. Now, this moment in the REANIMAL demo is, and again, I'm pretty sure, I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure this shadow is of the kid that we are chasing, one of our friends. And he's being shot by a freaking firing squad. Now, first of all, that's a war crime. Very dark. And if you look at the thing behind it, you can see that there is a cart full of these boxes, implying that somebody killed a bunch of children, which is very, very dark, but that's what I expect from this kind of series. I expect if you're going to make a series, I can't believe I have to explain this. If you're going to make a series where the protagonists are children, you should make it clear that children in this world are at risk. If there's no risk to the children, why do I care that I'm playing as a child? Do you see the point that I'm making? Do you understand? Do you understand? You need to. Anyway, the point that I'm saying here is that this moment is, first of all, really interesting. Like, what is this? Is this a flashback? Are we all actually dead? Right? Is this an alternate timeline thing? Is this magic? Is this their fears? Like, what is this moment? Because we see the boy alive. I think it's a boy. We see the child alive, right? So what is this trying to tell us? I have no idea. And that's brilliant because it lets me theorize. Maybe the game will explain it. Maybe it won't. I don't really care. But it's there for a reason. And that reason is to be interesting and very dark. So it's like it hits two points at once, right? And that moment is by far my favorite moment. I actually enjoyed that moment more than the chase scene with the sniffer. As much as that chase scene was great, the reason why I enjoyed this was because this was not only was it a really interesting story plot moment, but it was something that you could easily miss. It was put there as a reward for people who go exploring. And what does it do? It tells you, hey, if you want to find the secrets of this game, you're going to have to go looking for them. We ain't just going to hand them over to you on a platter. You're going to have to go find them. You got to put some work in. And I like that. As a someone who likes puzzle games, as someone who likes mystery and you know, all that kind of crap, I love that. I love that I actually have to go and find it. Perfect. And yeah, it's a risk because some people might completely miss that on their first playthrough, but that just gives you another excuse to play the game again. I've played Little Nightmares 1 6 or 7 times. I've played Little Nightmares 2 5 or 6 times. I played Little Nightmares 3 twice, and I don't think I ever need to play it again because I found every single thing in that game. There's nothing else that I need to find. And yet I can go and play Little Nightmares 1 and 2 and I'll still find things that I forgot about, or I'll find new things, or I'll come up with new theories. So seeing little things like that makes me so excited to get my hands on the full game. And again, this is probably my one concern. And I'm not saying that I'm concerned. If I had to pick If I had to pick one thing to be a concern, it would be that I really hope the rest of the game is of this quality, because, you know, maybe they cherry picked the best part of the game to show as the demo. But here's the thing. I don't think they did. I'm pretty sure this is just the beginning of the game. Maybe we're missing like a cutscene, I don't know. But I'm pretty sure this is just the beginning of the game. So if this is like the beginning of the game, the first hour or whatever of the game, I can't wait to see what the rest of the game has in store. And little things like this, again, this moment is nothing groundbreaking, but it is excellent. It is excellent at what it was designed to do. And what it is designed to do is to make you think. It's designed to make you think, creep you out a little bit, and it's designed to be dark. And this moment is darker than anything in Little Nightmares 3, and that's sad. But listen, I'm not going to beat the dead horse too much. I'm pretty sure Peter's probably going to tweet about me now that I said the phrase beat a dead horse. YouTube theorist Tericho beats dead horses. He must be stopped. I could go on and on and on about this demo and how much I love it, but my main glazing of it is that this experience that I have been provided with is the experience that I want from this genre, and they gave it to me, and that's all you got to do. That's all you have to do. If I'm being honest, I don't really care so much about the puzzles. I mean, the puzzles are fine in the REANIMAL demo, like they are. Like, you got to go find a key to go find a wheel to put on the car. I don't really care. But rather than just go get the key to open the door, you have to go and experience something in that room to get the key. So you get some weird world building, you get some tension, you get some build up of the atmosphere, and then you get the key and then you progress. And so even though the actual gameplay mechanics are very basic and very simple, they work. But yeah, I don't really know what else to say aside from this. This demo is making me so excited. It's doing what a demo should do. And that's making me so excited to get my mitts on the full game. And I already know, I actually think, and this, again, spicy take, I actually think right now I am going to make a things you might have missed video for the demo of REANIMAL rather than making one for Little Nightmares 3. Because I think there are more interesting things to find in this demo than the majority of the Little Nightmares 3 game. And so I think this makes me super excited. I think REANIMAL is going to be, if you want my honest opinion, I think REANIMAL is going to be the next big theory game. I think this is going to be the one that people are making content on. I know I will be. And I hope that you guys, as an audience, I hope that you guys enjoy the change, because yes, this is going to be a new world. There's no connection to Little Nightmares. There's no, nowhere, no Six, no motto, no nothing. This is a completely fresh story. This is a completely new setting and a new world, but yet it is absolutely giving me exactly the same feeling that Little Nightmares 1 gave me the first time that I played it. So what can I say? If you haven't played the demo, go play it. Yeah, I was supposed to say this right at the beginning of the video. Maybe I'll edit it in somewhere. But the demo has actually now been extended indefinitely, because for some reason, the demo was going to have an expiration date, which I think is a weird choice, because this demo is bloody brilliant. But yeah, it seems weird that they were going to take the demo away, but they've seen the reaction to the demo and it'd be so overwhelmingly positive that they are now letting the demo stay up indefinitely, which they should have done, because somebody's going to find the game like a week before release and go, I've never heard of this. Oh, I'll go play the demo. And then if the demo wasn't there, that would have been silly, because the demo is there to try and get more copies of your game sold. But anyway, I'm glad that they are now letting the demo stay up indefinitely. They should have done that anyway. But yeah, people are asking, is it on console? The demo, unfortunately, is only on Steam right now. I don't know if they're going to do the demo for consoles before launch. I hope that they do, because I hope as many people as possible get to play this demo, because it's freaking great. But yeah, right now it's only Steam. And yeah, it does have local co-op, so... But yeah, this was it's another Yap video. If you want my honest opinion, I'm knackered. I've been tired the last few days, and I've been playing a lot of this new Digimon game. It's really good. So I am going to get back to the lore videos. Oh, also something that I was supposed to say at the beginning of the video that I forgot to say was that I am working on my playthrough for Little Nightmares 3. It's a long video, so I'm getting through it, but it's a lot of complaining. It's a lot of me complaining. So if you like that, that's for you. Otherwise, just don't watch it. But yeah, that's it. Those are my thoughts. The demo was bloody great. I am super excited for whatever Tarsier has in store. The trailers have looked amazing. The demo has been great. I think this is going to be my game of the year next year. I don't see anything topping it personally, but we'll see. And unless Little Nightmares 4 is a big change in terms of tone and terms of storytelling, I think this is the future. I think REANIMAL is the future of this genre. And once again, Tarsi are just proving that they are absolutely bloody excellent at what they do. Thank you very much for watching, everyone. If you did enjoy the video, don't forget to leave it a like. Maybe subscribe. I make lots of videos. People have been enjoying my Yap videos. I know, what a weird time we live in. But yeah, maybe subscribe. I don't know. Do whatever you want to do. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time.